The third component we need to write a scene is action, which is where the plot comes into play. The plot is the sequence of events that make up a narrative, including the main characters, their goals, conflicts, and resolution. It typically follows a structure of exposition, rising action, climax, falling action, and resolution. The plot is what drives the story forward and keeps the reader or audience engaged. There is a lot to writing a plot, which I will not be able to cover in this video, but we can go briefly through some of the steps. First, start with a central idea or concept. Begin by brainstorming the central idea or concept that you want your novel to revolve around. This could be anything from a magical world, a quest, a particular character. Create a world if you're writing a fantasy novel. Think about the geography, climate, political and social structures, as well as any magical or supernatural elements that exist within your world. Develop your characters. Create your protagonist and any other key characters. Decide what their motivations, desires, obstacles are, and how they will interact with each other. 4. Establish the inciting incident. Determine what event or situation will trigger the start of the protagonist's journey. This will be the first step in their journey toward their goal, and it is also the start of the character arc, which I mentioned previously. 5. Create conflict. A novel needs strong conflict to drive the plot. Think about the forces that are working against the protagonist and what they need to overcome in order to achieve their goal. 6. Outline the events. Create a basic outline of the events that will occur throughout your novel. This could include the protagonist's journey, battles, other significant events that will happen along the way. 7. Determine the climax. The climax is the high point of the story, where the protagonist's struggles come to a head. Decide what will happen during this moment and what the outcome will be for the protagonist and the world they inhabit. 8. Resolve the conflict. Decide how the conflict will be resolved. This could be through the protagonist's victory or defeat or some other outcome. Let's look at the plot section in the template. The tips that I mentioned are here on the right side, so you can consult them. There is an example plot outline which you can use for the underlying structure of your own story outline. And there are also some example outlines like fantasy, historical, modern romance, paranormal romance. Check them out and see if maybe they can help you for your outline. It would be best if you have a general idea of what your story outline is. There is no right or wrong way to approach this aspect of writing, as some writers prefer to plan extensively, while others prefer to write freely by the seat of their pants, or they're called pantsers. Most writers fall somewhere in between. Planning ahead can offer a sense of structure, while writing spontaneously can bring a fresh and unscripted feel to your work. Don't be discouraged if your chapter and story ideas change as you go.